said it was too hot. I can't.
Just do it. Yes, it's alive. Alive, I do. Yes, it's alive.
Okay, so here is the 1070 Ti, but this video portion applies to any graphics card. I actually went through this before. I did not record a video about it because it was so gross that I don't think anybody should watch it, but it happened again, I think, so I think I owe it to people to show what could possibly happen when you buy graphics cards from random people in the parking lot. And so I did not test this yet, but I already know it's going to happen. So if you have a weak stomach or you don't like gross things, please don't watch this video. Turn it off right now. And this might be in the main video, or this might be its own video. I'm not sure. It depends on how bad it is, but I already know what's going to happen because this happened to me before and I was so grossed out that I couldn't make a video about it. So what we have is a 1070 Ti here, which is nice and was very inexpensive. I didn't buy it. It was a trade-in. But when I looked at it, I couldn't test it. It was just, I paid very little for this. I mean, very, very little. But I took it inside and then I put it up like this to take a picture, and then this happened. So that is little bugs. And when I did this before I started recording, there was a lot. So it's a nice card, but something's living in here, and I'm very scared about what's in there. I shine the light in here and there's all kinds of bug things in here. Supposedly it works, but I don't know. And then there's this back plate, so I can't even get to the screws. So that's the thing. See, they're still, I don't know what this is. Like, I'm really grossed out right now. They're like little flies or something. I don't understand what it is. So normally I would test a card first, but I think we need to just take all this stuff off and clean it because it's so disgusting. Look, every time I don't know what it is. There's just these little, they look like little tiny flies or something. So, they have this custom backplate on here. I don't know if that, maybe, this is some sort of LED backplate. And it has, I'm wearing gloves because it's gross. It has a power supply in this. He sent me a picture of it on, so this whole thing lights up, which would be cool if there wasn't 1,000 bugs in it. So let's see. This, I assume this is just like kind of glued on. There's no screws, right? So we'll just kind of peel. Let's try and peel. It's too bad because this would have been cool to have on there, you know, to sell it, but oh, there we go. It's coming out. There we go. Okay, so that's, there's a lot of LEDs here. So there's more. See, those are little bugs. They're like baby flies or something. Okay, so now we can access the card. Again, please. Oh, I can already see it right here. See that? Something was living in here. They almost look like, is it fleas? Okay, so that's good. That's off to the side, the back plate, and so what do we want to do first? The heatsink, I guess. Actually, the seal is still there from the original thing. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see. They're almost like fleas or bed bugs or whatever that is. There's just all these bug things. Yeah, this is not good. So I don't think we can do the back plate first. So let's do the probably the heatsink first, and as more things fall out, kind of gross. Okay, one more time, I'm going to warn you, do not watch this. If this is going to gross you out, to turn it off. Don't subscribe, don't like, do anything. Just close YouTube, turn off your computer, and never go on the internet again, because this is going to really be nasty, I already know. So that's the heatsink, and so we're going to take off the power for the fans. Okay, so the heatsink is off. That's pretty typical of an old card. Not too bad. I removed the carcasses, which nobody wants to see. And otherwise, it's just dusty here. So normally we would just clean all this up and then do a rethermal paste. And then I hope it works. It's interesting that this card doesn't have a copper plate. It's just this. Well, I guess maybe it's copper. I don't know. It's kind of like a plated copper. But the thermal paste is it's actually still wet, which is weird. Usually it's dried up. Okay, let's move on to the back plate. Okay, so here's the back plate. There was 6, 10, 11 screws, which seems like a lot for a back plate, but okay. So I'm going to show this part. I didn't show the other part because it was super gross. I'm going to show this part because it's gross, but not as gross. I already know what's under there, and this is like an example of what could happen to you, and oh no. This is exactly what happened in the other card, the RX 590 that I made a video about. And I'll link to that video, but I didn't show you the gross part. So someone had cockroaches, I guess. And then the cockroaches had babies inside the video card. And that's them. And then they died. So I mean, I think the card still works. It's just so disgusting. So I'm probably going to give this a good look at all that. Oh, so gross. I really shouldn't be posting this, but the thing is, people have to see this. You know, they have to be warned about what, you know, you might buy this card, whatever card it is. It could be 10 series, 20 series, whatever. And then you don't check the card, you just plug it in your system and you go about your business, but you don't know what's inside. So almost every card that I've purchased, I took apart and re-cleaned everything. And this is why, because you do not want this in your computer. All right, so we'll have another picture once it's all together and cleaned. And I really hope this works because that was a lot of effort. Okay, so we got rid of all the creepy crawlies. And to do this right, you should remove this memory plate and clean under there. I'm not going to do that because I'm not sure if it even works yet. So I don't want to go too far. And you can always do that later. And I have these, which are nice. These are little... I bought this. You get like 100 pack of these. Just alcohol wipes. These are 70%. And it's just good for wiping down the GPU. Before I used to use the like alcohol with Q-tips, but I like these because they're just disposable. And it was only, it was $10 for the whole pack of 100. And I've done a few of these and it's still not even halfway through, so it's just nice. Get all this stuff out of here. There's the GPU. Let's finish that off. So I usually do one for the initial clean or removal. And we'll do another one for the clean up. So just that last little bit. GP 104. And you can take the side that you didn't use. You can kind of just work around the card. Do the back still. Just get dust off. Probably do one more. So what I do with these is we clean, because I'm cheap, you know. I still have yet to buy actual thermal pads. I have to do that at some point. But what I do is I clean the thermal pad, okay? So see, that's dirty. Then I take the thermal pad up. I clean the bottom. Right? And then what I do is I put it back on upside down. So it's kind of indirectly cooling the those things. I've seen many video cards where it doesn't actually touch that, so that's good. So then we did that for the clean, and then we do a fresh one for the final. Love these things. Nice and shiny there. So here's the backplate installed. Some people argue that the backplate doesn't actually do anything. I agree. The backplate doesn't thermally connect to the board. If you look at some of the more expensive cards, the backplate will have thermal pads here and then help dissipate heat. This one does not. It's there for what they claim to be rigidity, to make the card not sag. Also, the heatsink on the other side mounts to the backplate, so it's not really doing anything. Also, the GPU is here. This should be open and let the heat come out. And then under this, I didn't show it before, but there's a plastic liner under. So this backplate just kind of for looks. But it's funny because when there's no backplate, people complain. And then when there is a backplate, they still complain. So whatever. If it was me, I would just take it off or make a big hole here so the heat can get out of the GPU. And now we just put the heatsink on and we'll be good. And there you have it, a fresh, cleaned, refurbished sort of graphics card, whichever model it might be. I think I've done this to every single card. There might have been one or two that I didn't do it to just because they ran so well, or they were very clean to begin with, but this one obviously had a lot of issues. So we have new thermal paste, clean the dust. We did the thermal pad reverse, which you're not supposed to do, but that's what I do because I don't have any more thermal pads. And then backplate's on. So all we have to do is hope that this actually works, right? Anyway, if it doesn't work, it was just me giving you an example of what I like to do to a graphics card before I sell it or put it in the system. I can't believe that people don't do this to every card that's old. This is a 1070 Ti, and it's been given new life. So let's throw it in and boot it up and check it out.